Good morning, guys. Our language arts lesson today is about characterization, and we are going to use the summer reading text to practice characterization and finding evidence. So our summer reading book was called Because of Mr. Terupt, and some of you may not have been able to read it if you are new to Nolan and didn't know about it. But I still think you will be able to do this assignment because we're going to give you the excerpts from the text that you will need. So our learning targets for today are that students will be able to describe the characters, and that when you're describing those characters, you will be able to locate evidence in the text that shows details and explains why the characters are the way they are. So when we're reading this book, and any book that has characters for that matter, we can see that characters change and grow and learn from their mistakes over time. And ultimately, they let their experiences impact the reader. We kind of let the characters be our teachers when we're reading. We're going to also see how the characters impact and influence each other in a text. The same as you influence your friends and vice versa, like they influence you. Everything we or the characters do impacts others in some way, and it could either be positive or negative. We don't always get to choose which way it influences us and the impact that it has. So those are our learning targets, and that is our focus today. And this book had 7 main characters that were students, and then the teacher, Mr. Terupt. So we are going to draw a couple of pages of graphic organizers in our reading notebook. So as you can see, I turned my notebook from vertical like this to horizontal. So it doesn't quite fit in the screen on my phone, but I think we can work with it. So the first thing you're going to do is make a straight line across the pink up at the top. My marker is drying out. Just do it with a pen. Okay, so make a straight line across the top on the pink, and then you have this big space from this line to the bottom. So I want you to pretend that you're going to cut that in half. So now you have this section, cut the bottom section in half, and the top section in half. So now you have like 4/4. And then you're going to sort of do the same thing vertically. So you're going to start at the middle hole punch and make a line straight down. And then on this half of the paper, you're going to make another line straight down. And then on this side, in half of the paper, you're going to make another line straight down. And then over here at the very edge, I want you to make another small little sections that we can write the characters' names in. So I'm going to go ahead. You're going to want to make 2 sheets that are exactly the same as this. So just turn to the next page and draw the same diagram. If you need to pause the video and rewind it to draw the next page, you are welcome to do that. So if take a look at this, I will show you what your final product will look like. This one I did with purple marker. But these are the things you're going to add across the top. You're going to have character traits. And then the next column is strengths of the character, like things that the character is really good at doing and things that are positive about the character. Then this next column is going to be weaknesses and conflicts that the character has. What are some things that are their blind spots, or things that are difficult for them, or anything that's considered a weakness or a conflict with another character maybe. And then the last column is what I think is the most important one, is called lessons learned. So typically, as we go throughout the story, as we get closer to the end, we sort of know the character well enough that we find out some things that they learned about themselves or about life or about other people, that are sort of life lessons. So that's what you're putting here in the last column. Then over here on the left, you're going to put 4 character names. The first one is Jeffrey. Then we have Danielle. Then Alexia and Peter. So get that all marked down. If you need to pause and finish writing, you may do that. Okay, then on your next page that you made the boxes in, we're going to do 4 more characters. So we've got Jessica, Luke, Alexia, I think I wrote it wrong, and Mr. Terupt. And then across the top, it will be the same thing. Character traits, strengths, weaknesses and conflicts, and lessons learned in the last column. So get both of those pages set up like that. And then when we stop this video, there will be another link on this page that has several pages, maybe even 15 pages of little excerpts, little parts of the long book of Because of Mr. Terupt. And on each page, it will have a character's name. So on the first pages that you do, the first character I think that you're going to have to analyze is, Jeffrey, I do believe. But it doesn't matter what order they're in. If they're in a different order, you can just skip and go to the one you need to go to. But you're going to have several little excerpts or pages of the book that are written by by Jeffrey's point of view, where he's talking about what he's thinking and what he's feeling and his thoughts and things like that. So I want you to write a couple of character traits about him. And remember, a character trait is how the character is most of the time. Not just like everybody is mad occasionally, but that doesn't mean, that's more like a feeling that you are at that moment. If it's a person who's sort of mad and angry all the time, that could be a character trait. If they're just mad for this moment because they got stung by a bee, then that's just a feeling that passes. So put some character traits in there. Then here you're going to look for strengths. So as you read these pages, you're going to look for these 4 things. So I'm going to show you that next page, and then I'm going to do one more little video clip where I'm demonstrating how to do this on the screen, hopefully. So go ahead and X out of the YouTube tab and then go back to the slides.